Yeah, let's do it, dude.
So, where are we looking at now for this whole set of events that we're coming up to?
So we actually have had some really exciting conversations with the local governments in these different cities that we're going to. First of which, Waterboys. So we've been working with that. So in Pensacola, the indoor skate park, Waterboys, they are excited to host us. Not only that, I saw after they reposted that we had a very special sponsor, and I'm gonna call them special sponsor because nothing is in writing yet. Nothing's been disclosed, but we are very excited to see where a potential corporate level partnership, and let's just say, I can probably say it's of the energy variety, you know? So I'm not going to say what energy type it is, but they're definitely
Yeah,
interested.
I don't think we can yet,
No.
but I'd love to right now.
Yeah. But let's just say that's the kind of thing that it came out of the blue, and I was jumping up and down, like literally whatever. Like I got the text because that shows that we are starting to attract the type of partners that we really need to do this thing. As a side note, one of our board of director members, Michael McMiniman, he hooked us up with talking to Slidell. So right now we're working with their local government, and it seems like they're very open. They haven't committed to anything yet, but they're very open to hosting the event. And we have a couple more of these stops that we are coordinating stuff with. And then just on my birthday, on the 29th, I talked to Ride and Dirty Skate Shop, and they are super stoked for the tour that we're going on next year. So,
By the way, did you land anything special for your birthday? Like have a special trick that you just went to?
Well, I was going for nollie big heel flips, and it was getting away from me, but I still left the skate park still pretty stoked because that mini ramp or not the mini ramp, the quarter pipe. They got this really long quarter pipe in the back of the Slidell skate park, super long, super smooth. And
the high one or no?
I'm talking about the mellow one. Yeah, it's just mellow. Like it's I feel like it's the perfect height. It's like super wide, and then you get up on that coping, and it's just butter. And anyways, I hit like the cleanest, all encompassing, like one side to the other, 5-0, just holding it all the way to the other side and back in. Nice. I will say something about skateboarders who sometimes just going fast makes you look like you're the best skater ever. And I totally get it because when you do it, you feel like the best skater ever. So like it makes you keep doing. You see those dudes who just hit really fast 5-0s or 50-50s across
I'm well aware.
the quarter pipe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm more of, I like to go a little bit slower, but I like more technical tricks. But I do get what you're saying. Skating fast does look better, and plus, going fast, it looks like you're doing more technical. I can't do any kind of 5-0 variation across the quarter at high speed. I feel like I'm going to slip out one way or another. But if I roll up slowly up to it, I can get in 5-0 and go for a little bit and just come back in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean that's the move. Another skateboarder I think that really embodies that is Jagger Eaton. Like I got to see him skate in New Orleans for a Red Bull demo, and then I got this.
Flies.
Oh yeah, dude, he full send, super fast. And I got to see him skate in Street League in 2022, 2021. No, it's 2023. Whatever. Whenever it was, they came to Jacksonville, and that's the stop he won. It was nuts. But yeah, so that's really in terms of the progress that we've made. Just to wrap that up, like that's the progress that we've kind of been making on getting the tour going. So y'all make sure to check out our social media. That's where we're going to be having all the information about our tour. We're excited for our first stop in Waterboys, Pensacola, January 17th, and February 7th is going to be in Slidell, and we're going to have them every month throughout the year. So there'll be 2 stops in Biloxi, and we have plenty of them throughout the Gulf Coast. So check our flyer for more details. But
yep. You can find our flyer on our Facebook and our Instagram. Be down in the description.
Yep. So speaking of skateboarders we love, what are some dudes that you feel like here on the coast that that we've worked with or have come out and helped us, like that are true core skaters, but have also like put a lot of effort into like our DIY projects?
Definitely Shannon and Jamie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes have put hard blood, sweat, and tear effort into the entirety of all of what we've done.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's countless, like Ben
Yeah.
also donated a lot of lumber. I mean, we like there's so many dudes who one rip, but also like they also have a really awesome background either in construction or architecture or design, and they've just been lending a hand with their skills. And one thing I've always said is that no matter like what your talent is, you just need to like if you want to help this thing grow, just take your talent and figure out how you can use it in to help skateboarding grow.
Yeah. Our last build day, Monteo, Andrew Monteo, he helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
Like throughout that whole build day.
Not only did he help, so he has a background in construction and through his job in the Air Force, but there was a lot of airmen who, part of the Air Force Sergeants Association, partnered up with our organization. And so we had airmen out there who were learning how to do construction come out, and it is like, you know, one is kind of like a Habitat for Humanity situation where they're helping us build stuff because that's what they typically sometimes do for their some of their nonprofit efforts in that construction field. Like they do that on the side, but then they came out and
they do Habitat for Humanity. But you got to remember, we're doing ramps, and boxes, and stuff. It might seem simple to them, but there's a lot of
nuances.
Yeah, that they had to learn. Like I've seen a lot of guys that were military that, they've built houses, they've built all these different structures. Building a ramp seemed like the hardest thing to them.
It's
so
funny,
not to talk bad about them at all. Oh,
it's just different. It's specialty equipment.
It was definitely different to them, but I think that's a good thing in the long run for them as well.
Yeah, because it was just a different problem to solve, and they did a great job of solving it. We had them building that wedge at the back end of the skate park, and I think they did a great job. And like, it's kind of funny because the drawing I gave them was like it looked like a kindergartner drew it because I did.
Stretch.
Just like, you know, it looked like a cartoon ramp, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, make that, guys, and they're like, okay. But they did it. I mean, you know, two wedge ramps, put them together with ribs, and then build a deck, and then put the plywood on, and put the gator skins on. They smashed it. I mean, people like that though are that come out and maybe they don't know exactly how to help, but just showing up and being part of it, and like everyone wants to figure out how they can solve whatever problems in front of us. So, yeah, I mean, I think if people keep doing that, we're gonna be okay. You know, looking ahead, like we're gonna be great.
Yeah.
So, let me look here. We were talking a little bit before we start. We were talking a little bit before we started, and we are a growing community. But at the same time, we're super tight knit. But also, I think there's people who really want to. They're not like gatekeeping, but like it feels like skateboarding can be sometimes a little closed or seem like that to people.
Yeah, it's really weird because it's the biggest industry that's open in arms, but it also kind of seems a little bit gridlocked sometimes because you meet guys where it's like, oh, you got a board? Sweet, we're brothers now. And it's like, all right. And then you got guys who are, hey, you got to be like this if you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah, and I've seen that in the past. A little bit too, but I've skateboarded in Europe and across America. There are scenes that are a little bit more like that, but I don't know. To me, I've always felt like at a certain point, you're kind of, when you show up to a park where you're bored, people are watching to see what tricks you do. What's the first, your first 5 minutes in the park? Is this dude sketchy? He's gonna steal my wallet? Or is this dude like here to skate? And if so, like, is he good? Like, so if he's you know, he warms up and then he gets into the park and you see he's doing like tray flips up the bank. Like, okay, so, and he gets a first try. That kind of like shows you belong here. Like you don't even have, it's kind of like your official skateboarding passport when you have a certain trick that you can do.
Can do something and you do it well. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're automatically, if like it's a sick enough trick, automatically dudes at the park are gonna be like, dude, that was sick. And no matter what, they're gonna gravitate to you. But I feel like our park is a little bit different than most skate parks. I think we've done an incredible job making sure people feel welcome. If there's someone, and I've tried to do this and like kind of set the example, but if there's someone I don't know and they show up at the park, I always introduce myself. And then this kind of bites me in the butt sometimes because I'll realize I've met this person 3 times after I say, hey, what's up, man? How'd you hear about it? It's like, bro, I met you last week. And I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
You definitely have the more approachable face.
I appreciate that.
A lot of the times I have what some people say is a resting face.
Resting butt face?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah. No,
But it's more just like I'm in tune to what I'm doing. And I'm just focused on the trick that I'm trying. It's not that I'm trying to be this kind of way.
Yeah.
Way I'm actually just focused.
I suspect, though, you're not alone in that. And I imagine there's a lot more skateboarders who may seem like they're being, you know, kind of intense, but that's because they're just like you. They're just focused on whatever they're doing. And it has nothing to do with the 5 people who just walked up to the park. They probably didn't even see them. Like, and it's not a big deal. And if you're in the middle trying to get something, yeah, I'm probably not going to stop what I'm doing to be like, hey, what's up, dude? But maybe like if like 20 minutes are done, I've battled it out, laid my stuff, I'll probably come up and say, hey. And that's normally
What about
most
whenever you're in the
skateboarders.
middle of a battle and someone tries to come up to you?
It's tough because that I feel like happens more because of the role we play at the park.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been one of the reasons I was kind of happy to go do a solo mission at Slidell Skate Park because I love who I am and get to be for our community here. I'm known by everybody and I love it. But also sometimes I just want to sesh.
Yeah.
And I've realized our Wednesday night meetups just for me, it's not, I can do that a little bit at the beginning, but ultimately like I am there to say, hey, and be a part of the community. And so it's a little different for me, but I wouldn't change it. I'm glad that, you know, we get to be somebody to these, dude, as soon as I get out of that truck, there's like 3 or 4 kids from the park I know who are gonna be like, hey Ty, what's up? And I'm like stoked to be like, what's up, dude? And you know, they always do that every time I see them, and I don't want that to change because I appreciate that connection, and it also makes me feel like I'm welcome, like these are my people, and I know that when we do that to other people who like are outside of our community, that's the true sense of belonging, and that's what I get to feel. I want as many people who are part of our skate community to feel that.
No, it's nice whenever people come from even out of town and they see us, and to us it's regular.
Yeah.
And we treat them like regulars.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's not many places you can go and get treated like a regular. Just like as soon as you get out the car, like you're already family. And I think I was having a conversation with Brandon, who owns Ride and Dirty, one of the owners. And we were talking about how Western culture through skateboarding has kind of found its way over here. And I agreed with that, but I think it's also changed. I think when we picked up skateboarding, we picked up that part of the culture. We picked up the things we like, but that didn't mean we let go of the values and the things we were raised with. Like Southern hospitality is like a great example.
Yeah.
Like we took skateboarding and we made it even more welcoming with our Southern hospitality. And like we really live it here. Like truly.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. And I know it's a little different from some other scenes. I think that kind of, as we're talking and I'm thinking about this, I think even when I go to other parks, I think I bring that with me. And that's what makes me maybe more approachable. The guy at like if I walk up to you, you probably feel like, you know, we could talk. But yeah, it's just exciting to know that's our park, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So when we started all this, and we talked a little bit about this on last week's podcast, we built just a couple ramps. And then I think some other pieces of that is other people brought in things that they already had around the Gulf Coast. Where does this DIY, and let's talk a little bit about other DIYs, where does this DIY in your head compare to some of the other DIY projects you've been a part of in the past?
This one's definitely a lot different because we're moving with the local government watching us and giving us the go ahead, as opposed to, hey, we got to get this done quick. Don't let anyone see. Like,
Yeah.
and especially like a lot of the guys know, especially the locals around here. Here we have the tennis court DIY, and then we have the Gulfport DIY for a long time, which that's where a lot of the building went into, and stuff would get torn down, messed up. We just put something else out there. Try to rebuild it. We ended up having a concreted quarter with no backing. That was fun.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then a long ledge that was like kind of brick. I don't know what the top was. I can't remember if it was just concrete.
I think it was
It
concrete.
was slicked out.
Yeah. Somebody did a good job on that thing
Yeah.
too. And it was kind of gnarly because it was a little uphill, just slightly, right?
Oh, depending on where you're going.
The slab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the slab, it was, if you're facing south, yeah, it's uphill.
You gotta
So,
send
but
me
if you were
some
from the
pictures.
top-
We gotta pull up some
I
videos.
got some stuff.
Yeah.
But no, and also the grass gap just hitting
Yeah.
at the end of it and going from one side to the green pad.
And y'all had a rail that you had out there connecting.
That rail is actually what's the round rail that's at the Biloxi DIY.
That was survived.
Yeah, that rail the day of that all the construction was about to happen, and they were just tossing stuff by the street. I walked out there and grabbed what I could, and I had a Mustang convertible at the time, and I just put down the top and was just
Yeah, you
shoving
did.
stuff, and that rail was the last thing that fit, and I was just heaving it into the back seat.
Dude,
But
it's such a good thing to have kept from that part. And so that kind of reminds me of the rail I got when I was in high school. I welded
the
together.
railroad rail.
Well, no, it's maybe that's what it looks like, but it's angle iron, like really like long, but it's just an angle, not like an actual.
Oh, I thought it was like a railroad track. That's
No,
what I thought it
it's
was.
heavy as heck
Yeah,
though.
That's what I thought
I don't
it
even
was.
know what it was originally from. I was just so I was in agriculture class. So Ron Mears was my Mr. Mears was my teacher for ag mechanics, and we learned about welding. And I did the most god awful welds that a high schooler could do, but I was really determined to make a rail. And so the one that's out there is actually the second version. The first version was one that I had designed that was like you pulled it apart and like there was a center purlin and all of it, like there was a sheath, like basically you sheathed it together.
You could make it one, or you could have two short rails.
Well, it was just one rail, but you could make it super long with the center attachment. And so we loved that rail. We put that thing together. It was awesome. But the boys at Alpha Skate Park, like the next town, like we lived in the most rural country podunk town. Those boys stole the rail I welded together. And then I heard that they stole it. And so we went over to their park and we saw that they broke it because of my crappy welds. So
you seem to get heated about that.
oh
Right there.
yeah, dude, I did. But
What would you say to those guys right now?
I don't need to say anything
All right.
because of what I did to them. I left okay, this is a different me in a different world, and I would never do this again. But
I was going to ask, do we need to cut this?
no,
or-
I left them a stinking turd right in the middle of the park, and like so we were sessioning their park that was kind of a really crappy DIY in Alpha, and it's right behind the police station too. And so like kick out factor, like so we finished having a skate session there, and then like we're about to leave, and I just like pull up a brick and like drop my pants and drop the deuce in their park, bro. And then I kicked over the brick, and then like boom, turd. Yeah. So, anyways, it's a me and a different. That was definitely
I'm rethinking.
not
you
proud
have
of
me
it,
as the
bro.
president of our association.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kidding.
I know. That's what we need is this story to get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah, some people are going to be after you now.
Yeah, don't take my. And that maybe I shouldn't threaten, but because we have a whole skate park out there now, and it's crazy to me, and like me having all those experiences as a kid, like people stealing our stuff or breaking it or whatever. And now we have this DIY now, and it's so well managed and taken care of. And like I've had the opposite experiences with this park. Like
I mean,
people
with
take
this
care
park,
of
if
it.
something's gone, we're notified
Oh yeah, bro.
by something, or if, like, say the lights don't work,
Yeah,
we're
instant.
notified
Yeah.
right then and there.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But beyond that story, our DIY when I was a kid, we had an abandoned basketball court that was right down from 4 Mile Creek, and and it was out in the woods where like it's like a community park, and nobody was playing basketball because there was no hoops installed, but they used to be or something, and it was like that smooth like tennis court feel. And so we built ramps that were just made up of debris and like leftover lumber and pallets, and we just stacked these things up to the top of like a basketball fence, and like we put a plank of wood between 2 big ramps that went all the way up to be like the wall of manness. Like if you get across that, that's your rite of passage. You are now a man. Like all kinds of silly, stupid stuff like that. And we had everything though. Most features like that we left, and there was a certain point where my dad had a truck and a trailer. And that's where I really learned how to pull a trailer, because I would build a bunch of stuff at the house and skate on my porch, invite all my friends over, and we'd load it up into the trailer, and we go down to, we called it the Clarksville skate park. And so we built, like every day we'd just bring everything out. We built a skate park in a day.
Kind of like how we started off at.
Yes.
As just bringing stuff out to that spot where we now have a DIY.
Yeah, and I weighed 110 pounds doing that. So like moving like ramps that are like way bigger than me. And so like, and I'm grabbing all my friends, like, yeah, let's put this out. It makes sense. I'm still doing that today.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so when you were growing up, did you have any DIYs that you were a part of?
I mean, like I said, the tennis court DIY that we had, the Gulfport DIY. Cody Lacoste had started kind of a DIY.
Mm-hmm.
Why for a second there. And then just anytime I'd go see my dad's side of the family over in New Orleans, I'd stop at Parasite every time. Hit there.
Yeah.
There, and being a little kid at Parasite it's unruly, but
pretty gnarly.
You know,
dude.
they look out for you there. I will say that they're good about that.
Yeah, that's a gnarly DIY for sure.
Yeah.
With a even more like, I think we have a pretty cool story, but like there's and if I'm wrong, please let me know. But my understanding is they would build it and the city would try and tear it down, and there would always be this backlash till finally Ryan Sheckler Foundation got involved, and they like did like a full out build out for returning it into the Parasite DIY.
Well,
right?
At the beginning, there was another one.
Mm-hmm.
One that was, I believe it was a little bit closer to the tracks, and then it kind of wound its way up under the bridge and the area that it is. And then that kind of, you had the Ryan Sheckler Foundation, but you also had Red Bull doing this huge tour that they went across the Mississippi River on a riverboat, and they ended up just dropping it off right there.
That's random.
Like in New Orleans, they added it onto it just right off after. That's
so random.
You can look it up.
I wonder if like the city was like, yeah, do it, like, or they just. That must have been.
I know in the past they've had back and forths for the city, but I don't know how it was with that one situation.
Yeah, I think what we've done is pretty rare, and I think it's more normal for skateboarders to, like us, be just renegade, like make it, and like if it gets torn down, like, oh man, boo-hoo, but like.
Yeah, but it's not so easy buying more wood and quickcrete.
Exactly. So we are taking a huge risk when we do that.
Yeah. And the biggest difference to any DIY that I've skated to ours that we have, no quickcrete.
Yeah.
We don't have a single concrete obstacle concreted in.
I know.
But everything still stands.
Yeah, everything still stands. I think the gator skins. I think when we got the gator skins and the mini ramp, that was when people really like woke up to what we're doing. Because I get beforehand when it was just plywood, and I even if I saw a park like that, I'd be like, oh man, this reminds me of my stuff I built growing up. But like the
Yeah.
gator skins are so durable, they're legit, dude. And then the mini ramp, like just having one that's accessible to anybody, everybody loves mini ramp.
Yeah.
Like even if you're just messing around for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's easy to just get on there and have a good time.
Yeah, I think we really live this do-it-yourself spirit, and I just love that about what we do, and I imagine that's always going to be a part of us, you know. So, a couple more things before we kind of sign off. What I wanted to talk to you about, and we've kind of dived into it a little bit. Are there any skateboarders from your past that you would be like that you got to meet? That's like a from this region that is an absolute legend to you.
Oh, that's a tough one. Because all the guys that I grew up skating with that were legends to me are now like my good friends. So it's like the guys who mean probably the most to me. I like whenever I was growing up here would be Royce, Chris Jobs, Shannon, right off the bat, and then of course Steve's.
Yeah.
Straight up. But that is probably it.
It's incredible that like that because that's kind of your skate generation too, and they're still skating, and you know that if Steez was here, he would absolutely be
I don't
skating.
know, Steve's would definitely be a part of this if he was
I mean,
still here.
technically,
He is a part of it.
Yeah,
He is a part of
we
it.
dedicated a ramp to him. For those of y'all who don't know, when we did our first really big event.
No, John's family coming out was
Yeah.
that was heartwarming.
We
So
got Willie Nelson in collaboration with those guys up in Tupelo with Change. They got together and they made us, it was very sweet of them. They made us a quarter pipe, our first legitimate all metal obstacle. That thing is super durable. Everybody loves skating it. And on the back, they put in and they cut it out in metal and through AutoCAD system in honor of Steez. And so, and then that's not the only. I saw that there was something
we got
else.
the ledge out there.
Yeah.
There that also has his little music symbol. I don't know.
Yeah, it's his like brand logo name.
Kind of
Something like that. Yeah, it's definitely his tag of some sort.
Yeah.
And it's on the ledge that's out there. And on the day when we were going and painting everything, I don't remember if it was me or who it was, but somebody came up to us.
I looked at it and I was like, do not let them paint over that.
Yeah, and well, they painted right up to it, and they left it. So I wonder if people go by that and wonder like, huh, everything else around this thing is painted, and like if you know, you know, and now you guys know because really like skateboarding, it means a lot, and it meant a lot to him, and definitely I know all the skateboarders that knew him because they all would agree that he absolutely was a solid dude, and the skate park closed down in about 2015, 16 time frame.
He tried revamping it in
and that was
2021-ish.
So no, it would have been 2018.
2018?
It was definitely 2018 because when I was deployed in 2019, that's when he passed away.
Yeah, time's flown.
Yeah, I know. Crap. I know. So we went on the news and I remember for Go Skateboarding Day, we collabed and did an event at Point Cadet. And then we did a couple of small events at his place, and he was trying to raise some money and keep it going. And it was super admirable for what he was trying to do. I have a video where he's like trying to give me some of the cash I won from a video. I was like, no, I'll put it back in the park. He's like, you a real one. And so I got that video up on my channel. Yeah, definitely impacted a lot of dudes. And I think more than anything, inspired so many people.
He really brought the light into the room. I'll tell you that.
And just how he was as a person, as a skater, just an overall good dude. I think that with so many DIYs that we've built, this one obviously being super special, but we're looking to the future and we want a premium concrete skate park.
Yeah.
So when we're thinking about that, how many parks do you feel like you've been at?
I'm gonna say upwards of about like 50, 60
Dang.
parks. I know yours is still astronomically high,
Yeah.
high, and that's not even fair.
Yeah, well, it's not fair. The Air Force like basically paid for every plane ticket I've been
Yeah.
on, and then I took advantage of that time. So yeah, I've been.
Mine's either because I have to go to a family function or just happen to be somewhere
Yeah,
or it's out of my own pocket going to that place because there's a park.
yeah. Well, I hope we can add our park to the list. But
Yeah, most
when
definitely.
your favorite parks, what are some of your favorite obstacles or favorite features that you've skated?
All right. Bradenton, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit under a bridge. It's a little bit opened up, but they have one. It's just a ledge, and it's just you can go upward, where it's on flat completely, but it's just like inclined all the way up, out. So you can go up it to down. You can go down and up, off, treat it like a kicker. Like it's fun. Skate park example is always up there for me as well. Well, mainly because the course just keeps on changing. It's always better than last year.
Yeah,
And it just never stops.
it's gotta be fun to be able to
Oh yeah.
orchestrate that.
But I don't know, the Vans Park in Huntington Beach, California was pretty fun. Fun going over the van sign. That was fun.
Yeah.
Just having that right there.
Do you have
Yeah.
any clips from these spots?
I have clips from majority of them.
Okay.
I think I didn't have anything in the Vans Park because another gatekeeping thing at the time. But now I'm with Instagram being as big as it is, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, I think they just let it slide nowadays.
Yeah.
Also on California side, the old skate lab, that's not there anymore. They have the museum, but it's not the same. Same. Trying to think of any other ones that like really stuck out to me.
Do you feel like I feel like you're more of a street skater, right? So what makes a good street obstacle for you? Or what are you always like looking for when you go to a park?
I'm a little bit biased. I'm a very big fan of hubbas and ledges. But probably what makes a good street park is just the flow of the park.
Yeah.
Straight up, and just being able to make a straight line through and come back from either or way and continuously keep on running the line.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes a great street park.
Yeah, man. I think I'd agree with you on that one. I think some of my favorite parks that I've been to were like, I got to skate this park in Luxembourg, and I think it may be the richest country in Europe, mainly because it's so small. Like it's like like based on per capita, whatever. So they have a lot of money, and it clearly shows because they're able to do free public transportation and things like that, and within their city. But they got this one skate park that's underneath this like bridge. It's like an ancient looking bridge built maybe centuries ago. And right underneath it is this park, and right beside it is like a stream that's flowing, and it's kind of like in this valley. And it's called Petrius Skate Park. And the thing that I love about skate parks is ones with good stair sets and that have variety of difficulty, because I love doing flip tricks downstairs. I don't really get to practice that as much. That's why one of the first things I built for the DIY was a good stair set. And I think the one thing that makes a good skate park for me specifically, is if the stair set has enough runway. That's something they always skip out on. Like in every park I go to, it's like there's never enough runway. And then landing space, right? And so those are some really critical items for a park for me. And it also takes up a lot of real estate, because when you go put in a stair set, you're taking away from like a lot of other things, because you have to have so much lead time on both sides. And so with a good stair set, you can also have a good hubba a good, rail, like those kind of things. Um, I like the other thing I really liked about this park was that they had, and I've only seen like two obstacles like kind of like this. It's a long, mellow hubba, A-frame hubba, with a little wedge, so that you can, and on one side, on the other side, I think it's kind of bigger, but on one side, it's the first time I ever landed a nollie big heel flip and a nollie laser flip like on an obstacle.
It, like a hip.
Yeah, it's like a
way?
hip wedge. Yeah, sorry, it's like a
Alright,
hip. It's A-frame with a nice little hip right there.
All right.
So, and then also, if you wanted to, you could jump off the hip onto the ledge. I flippin' love that thing. Then Rob Deerdeck, he made a skate park in Sunland, New Mexico, and so it's really close to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and then El Paso, Texas.
Right.
And it's in the shape of the New Mexico symbol, which is a Zia symbol. The skate park is. So it's a big circle with a kind of like a cross, and it's kind of built up like I like to think like a volcano, like it's all built up. And so from the top platform, it's just one big flat spot with four of these round curved ledges, and then coming out of each side down like the cross parts are just different size stair sets. So one side is a 6 flat 6 with like super crazy like that's the most like intense you could get with rail and stair and hubba. Then the other side is a 10 stair. That is the biggest stair set I've ever jumped and like felt comfortable with jumping, with a amazing hubba, amazing ledge. 8 stair that leads to a flat spot long enough to connect to a 2 stair. And then on the other side is a 4 stair to a 6 stair. And like then around the circle, and every time somebody tells me like we should do a pump track, I'm like, we shouldn't do a pump track, but the Zia symbol circle was like the closest thing in my head to what could be done, which it's like, imagine a big circle around the park, but like some of it's Manny stuff. Maybe there's a mini ramp. Maybe there's a really weird like pump track-esque like curved hubba or curved like ramp ledge. Yeah, I have to show you the video. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's such a sick park. I think it's probably like those are the two skate parks that always come to my head about like the best ones that I've been to. Shout out El Paso skate scene. It's insane. But yeah, those would be probably my top parks. Indoor parks though, because you brought up
Tampa.
Yeah. It's hard to compete with that. Tampa
Tampa and Skate Lab were indoor parks,
and it has a good community, and I think it probably doesn't get said enough, but I mean, you worked there for a bit of time, right?
Helped out.
Yeah.
Had a lot.
So
one Tampa Am.
Yeah, I think that it's part of also the leadership ownership of that park, and the direction, the vision is a huge part of it. Best indoor park, there's like 3 of them that come to mind whenever I think about being stationed in Europe. Their indoor parks were insane. Area 51, although I didn't really appreciate their park layout, just like the overall vibe, like going into the park, like you're up on this mezzanine looking down into the skate park. Like imagine being on the 2nd floor in this big glass window, and from this long cafe area you're in, there's people drinking, a beer from tap, or getting a panini. Somebody's working on a college presentation. Kids are running up and down. Parents are, watching and waiting. Grandparents are watching and waiting for their kids to finish their session. Like everyone's just kind of living life in this one area. It was so sick. And then there's a couple other parks that were similar to that, just with better layouts, like Pier 15, really good indoor skate park. Shout out Pier 15. All my Dutch friends up there.
I was about to say, also Lot 11 in Miami.
What?
Lot 11
in
Miami. That one's another under the bridge park.
I see a common theme.
One. Yeah, but that's just preference. Why isn't it, especially in Miami, it gets hot.
Yeah.
So you kind of need that shade.
Yeah, we need it here too, man. But what about Lot 11 did you like?
Lot 11, they had a lot of aspects of the city. Like, what you go out into Miami, you see this agriculture type look to everything. A lot of kind of stone handle walkway ways, brick everywhere.
Kind of feels natural.
Where yeah, and you go into the park and it just kind of feels the same.
Dang.
And it's nice for it to feel like that.
It's incredible that park designers were able to incorporate that into the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that we could get a little bit more of that.
Yeah. I do think there's some cool stuff about the Gulf Coast and Biloxi specifically for that project that we're working on that could be incorporated from like just aspects that you see around the city into the park. I know we've got some good suggestions about that. It would take a really good park designer to implement all that stuff because we can wish and want all day, but
I love particularly skating anything brick like.
Yeah.
Like, and for it to resemble the brick on Howard, because you've skated it, it looks like it'd be rough, but it's smooth as can be, full way through.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, dude, do you feel like it's a good point, good stopping point?
I feel like this is good.
Okay, so thank you all for watching Kick Push Gulf Coast. What we want y'all to know is that we're trying to grow a community behind our online scene. So we got our YouTube that we'd love for you to consider subscribing to and joining our community. Because really, we plan on posting videos frequently, and our goal is for you not to miss any of this awesome conversation. And we want you to jump in and let us know what you think of skateboarding on the Gulf Coast. And if you haven't already, go to our website, www.gulfcoastskateparksassociation.org, where you can learn more about us. We have a big donate button. Everything that we do, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. Everything we do is going back towards our mission. So we're trying to grow a healthy skateboarding community and develop free public access to skate parks. And so every donation helps us achieve and get after that mission. We wouldn't be able to go on tour without people who are donating. We wouldn't be able to do these free skate youth clinics for the youth out in our local areas. I mean, it really, we just rely on, the generous support of our friends. And so we invite you to be one of them, join the community. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.